Welcome everybody to episode 4 of the Awkward Introverted Traveller, coming to you live from the beautiful city of Nuremberg. I arrived last night. I've got about 8 hours to spend here in Nuremberg before I need to catch my train up to Frankfurt to meet up with friends. So come with me and enjoy the sights and sounds of Nuremberg as I take you round. First impressions, have to say, definitely not in Munich anymore. When I arrived last night on the train, I definitely thought, Nuremberg, not sure I like this, it's a little bit ghetto. Definitely not in Kansas anymore after spending 3 days in Munich. However, after a couple of hours it definitely grows on you and it transpires it's actually a beautiful city. Just need to get to know it a little bit better. So yesterday had the chance to explore around before it got late and dark, and yeah, discovered that it was actually a pretty special place. So looking forward to spending a whole day here travelling around and looking at some of the sights and sounds. Evidently this was Hitler's favourite city. This was his ideal version of what a German city should look like. So there's definitely that Third Reich Hitler theme, Nazi theme running through the city, and there's lots of things to see and do that are focused around Hitler and his time here. So I'll show you some of the key sites of that, and also show you the must-sees in Nuremberg as well. So sit back, relax and enjoy the ride. We're outside the Germanisch National Museum. Now we're not going to go inside because I'm sick of museums. I've seen enough of those to last a lifetime, so we won't be bothering with that. However, outside the museum is the 30 articles related to the Declaration of Human Rights, which was signed in 1948 in the UN. Now in my handy dandy brochure of things to see and do in Nuremberg, it doesn't actually tell me what the point of them was, and when I researched it last night, now I can't remember, but basically it's 30 columns spanning the length of the street, and on each pillar there's a declaration, one of the articles, and it's in German and in a different language, and number 7 is written in English, which I'll show you now. So, Article 7 of the Declaration of Human Rights is equality before the law. Okay, next stop, the Nuremberg trials. We are outside the Nuremberg Palace of Justice, where on November the 20th, 1945, 21 leading Nazi officials went on trial. Unfortunately, the museum is closed. It is closed on a Tuesday. The one day I happen to be in Nuremberg and need to fill in time. This is very much the story of my life, really. All around Europe, things are always closed when I wanted to go and see them. Wanted to go and see the Mercedes Museum in Stuttgart, closed on a Monday. Wanted to go and see the Reichstag in Berlin. Turns out this is the 1 week that German Parliament is sitting every day, all night. So quite frustrating and a bit lame that I can't go inside and check it out just because this is the one day it's closed. So we might have to create a little bit of excitement. Interrupt this transmission of episode 4 of the Awkward Introverted Traveller. Nicholas has managed to make a travel buddy, Farouk, from Tajikistan, so that was kind of random. It was nice to have lunch with someone rather than eating alone, so that was kind of cool. I don't think he's dodgy in any way. I've watched Taken on the plane, so if I do get held captive, I know I've got 90 hours to survive. So after the disappointment of the Nuremberg Palace of Justice, we're off to the Document Zentrum, which is where the Nazi documents are all held, and also where they held their Nuremberg rallies as well, which you may have seen in history classes. So I'll see you on the flip side. Here we are, coming to you live from the Nazi Party rally ground. Behind me is the unfinished Congress Hall that Hitler was building. It's based on the Colosseum, however it was designed to be much bigger and much grander. However now it's the Document Centrum, or the document hall, where there's a museum that provides a bit of a history around the context and the circumstances concerning the rise to power of Hitler and the Third Reich. It also provides a bit of insight into what was going on at the time. So we're going to take a look inside. Thankfully it's open, so that'll be great. Oh well, here we are deep inside the Congress Hall. What an amazing exhibition and an amazing insight into the Nazi and the National Socialist rise to power as told through the Nuremberg parade grounds. It's been one of the best exhibitions I've ever seen, so it was fantastic information and insight into the inner workings of the Nazi Party and their subsequent rise to fall and then defeat as well. So in a moment I'm going to go out and show you the full site, and show you what it looks like from the outside, and also show you a little model of what it looks like as well. The model of the parade ground, that's the Congress Hall down the back there. So if we zoom in, this part here is completed, that's where the museum is, that's where I am at the moment. These bits on the side there are just an impression of what it was designed to look like when it was completed. However, a little thing called World War II got in the way of completing that. So here we are at the inner courtyard of the Congress Hall. It's a massive complex and you can see that it looks a lot like the Colosseum. However, it's now just a ginormous storage site. And if you need an ambulance in Nuremberg, you know where to come. Here we are down at the bottom of the Congress Hall now, and being inside it you definitely get a sense of just how big and impressive it was. It's definitely got that Roman Colosseum feel about it. You definitely got that imposed hemmed in feeling. Hopefully no lions or tigers or bears are going to jump out like they did in ye olde Roman times. And you also notice here on the information, it was designed to have a roof put on top of it, but that never eventuated. So I guess it's interesting. Germany, and in particular the south of Germany, seems kind of stuck with these relics of the past, but they've certainly made the most of it and turned them into some great information and historical sites. So I've definitely enjoyed getting to see some of those over the last 3 days. So I've definitely made the best of a bad situation and working towards and understanding their history. Okay, so it's now time to say goodbye to the Document Zentrum. I'm going to walk through this big archway here, and then it's on to my final favourite spot that I've discovered here in Nuremberg, the Kaiserberg Palace. So we'll see you in a moment. One last thing before I go, if you want some design techniques and tips from Hitler himself, one thing I learned in Munich the other day doing the bike tour, if you make the bottom windows bigger and the top windows smaller, it creates the impression that the building's much bigger than it actually is, and you can certainly see that in the Congress Hall here. The windows at the bottom much bigger than the window at the top there, so it creates the impression there that it's much bigger than it actually truly is. So a little technique tip there from Hitler himself. Okay, so I'm not actually at my favourite spot here in Nuremberg. I'm actually a little bit lost in the Nuremberg bush, having misinterpreted the tram map. However, never mind, hopefully I should be able to make it back into town. Otherwise I'm going to miss my train to Frankfurt, and we definitely don't want that. Here we are in beautiful Kaiserberg Castle, the top site here in Nuremberg to visit, a definite must-see. It's up on the hill overlooking the city, and what a beautiful spot it is. It was here last night when I was going for a walk that I definitely came to fall in love with the beautiful city of Nuremberg. Seeing the view from up at the castle was fantastic. You got a real oversight of the city, so I can show you that now. So you can see it's a beautiful sunny day here in Nuremberg. And we've also got the beautiful Kaiser Garden. I am running incredibly late for my train to Frankfurt due to my little excursion out into the Nuremberg bush, so hopefully I'll make it to the train station in time. If not, you'll see a stressed look on my face.